Excellent. Sorry about the problem. Okay, let's begin. I'll start all over again. So I was just talking about what SOAR stands for: security, orchestration, automation, and response. I was also telling that these terms for new technologies like EDR, XDR, SOAR, all these things are coined by the Gartner, the independent research organization. Typically, they come up with these new names, the technology names, and everybody, all the other vendors, try to align with these names. So let's break down each of these words here: orchestration, automation, and response, so that we understand what the technology actually does. So to start with, the orchestration basically means centrally controlling or coordinating between various IT technologies. Centrally coordinating between various IT technologies is what it means by orchestration. The word orchestration itself comes from orchestrator. You might have seen this maybe in movies and other places where it's called a symphony, right? So hundreds of people, or at least if not hundreds, around 30 to 40 different people will be playing some 10 to 15 different music instruments, right? So, and there'll be this one guy standing in front of them holding a stick in hand, and this is one guy who will make sure that all the different people who are playing different instruments sync, which will result in the sound will be music. If all these people are not synced, the resulting sound is going to be a noise, right? So that's why the role of orchestrator, he is called as an orchestrator. So the role of orchestrator is to make sure that everybody is coordinated and the resulting sound is music. So in IT also right now, a lot of companies have a lot of noise, right? So there are different technologies. We ourselves have learned at least come across around 20 different technologies so far. And then these technologies are managed by different teams. In large enterprises, they might be geographically located. That means the network team might be sitting in the US and the endpoint team might be sitting in India. Right, so the coordination is again difficult because of the time zones and everything. Right, so all put together. So when we talk about achieving cybersecurity, the coordination becomes very important. But as of today, a lot of companies struggle with this because several different tools are managed by different teams, and the coordination might be very challenging at certain times. Now that's where SOAR comes into picture, wherein it will help in coordinating between all the IT technologies. Now, if you notice here, I did not say cybersecurity technologies. I said IT technologies. So it includes things like Active Directory, email server, SIM, threat intelligence, firewall, email gateway. Think about any technology that can fall under infrastructure side, IT infrastructure side. SOAR can possibly talk to that tool and coordinate for any kind of investigation and incident response. Okay, I'll explain it more when we talk about the demonstration. I'll be showing the demonstration. So at a very high level, think about it like a central tool that can talk to all the other tools and coordinate with these tools like Active Directory, or it could be firewall, right? So these kind of things. Now, why would SOAR needs to talk to Active Directory? Let's say as a part of our investigation, right? So think everything under the let's say uh, context of SOC. Think everything under the context of SOC. So why would SOAR technology needs to talk to AD? There are two reasons. One, it wants to get additional information of a user. Let's say as a part of my investigation, I'm suspecting a user account is compromised. Now I want to get additional details of this user. Maybe he's easy administrator, easy what department he belongs to, where does he sit, what's his phone number, so that I can reach out to him quickly on phone. So like this, I want additional information. So SOAR can coordinate with Active Directory to get the right information. Now, another example would be, let's say that you have identified a brute force attack, and now you want to disable the account on which brute force is happening. This is what we do typically whenever we see a brute force attack happening on a valid account. Temporarily, we will disable the account. Temporarily, not permanently, so that during that time we will be able to reset the password and also set a very complex password. And then we will enable the account back. So now again, let's say in the past, how we used to do it is the SOC analyst team used to raise a ticket. The ticket used to go to the AD team, Active Directory team, and the Active Directory team used to perform this task. Now the problem is timings and coordination. SOC team will take, let's say, half an hour to analyze the alert and another 5 to 10 minutes in creating the ticket. They will escalate it with a P1. P1 typically will have at least 15 to 30 minutes of time for the Active Directory team to take action. So all put together, it will take at least 1 hour in order to disable the account. But imagine if it's a brute force, he is trying, let's say, tens of thousands of passwords per minute. And leaving the user account enabled for 1 hour could actually, the attacker might actually be successful within that time. Right, so what SOAR can do here is that when we detect such kind of attacks, brute force attack, SOAR can pass an instruction to Active Directory to disable the account. Now, again, I know it is a little difficult to comprehend how one tool can do all these things, but bear with me till I show the demonstration, and then let's say everything you will be convinced. But I want you to understand the concept as of now critically. Any questions so far? Did you understand both the examples that I have given as to SOAR connects to the Active Directory to get more information about a user? In the second case, SOAR will connect with the Active Directory to disable an account on which a brute force attack is happening. Okay, so these are some examples that I can give, but I'll also show you more examples. Repeating is not a question, Robin. You have to ask a question. You have to frame a question. I'll come to that point, Sandeep. Playbooks. I'm not sure if an account password can be reset when it is disabled or not. But what I'm trying to say is basically temporarily it will be disabled so that because brute force is all about trying passwords. Even if the attacker gets the right password, he still should not be able to log in because the account is disabled. It's so. I'll answer that question, Sandeep. Give me some time here. Okay, so that's a good question, Praneeth. You can consider EDR to be a tool that is capable of operating with endpoints. Right, so there is an agent sitting in each and every single endpoint, and we can take remediational action. We can collect information from those endpoints. But SOAR is a much, I would say, technically advanced tool wherein it can talk to a lot of third-party technologies as well. For example, EDR cannot talk to a firewall. EDR cannot get information from a firewall. But whereas SOAR can get information from a firewall, SOAR can write a rule on firewall. Let's say taking the context of EDR, what it does with the agent on a particular host. Now apply this to the entire infrastructure. That's what SOAR is. SOAR can talk to any technology and can request information from the technology or pass instruction to that technology. Azure Sentinel has SOAR built in SOAR, yes. All right. So automation, obviously, automate every aspect of security operations. Let's say automation like analyzing a triggered alert. So there is an alert triggered in SIM or even for that matter EDR, like the way we saw yesterday. And SOAR will pick up that alert and it will analyze the alert automatically. And as a part of analysis, if it needs to connect it to a user, it can reach out to a user via an email and get the responses from the user. And if it is necessary, after investigation, that SOAR finds out that it is in fact an incident. And as per our process, if there is a need to create a ticket, SOAR can automatically create a ticket. Now let's go one step ahead. If it is required to take some remediational action, instead of raising a ticket, sometimes SOC teams are combined with IR team, incident response team. That means not only are they involved in analysis, they're also involved in response. So if the SOC is combined with IR, SOAR can actually go ahead and take a remediational action. For example, disabling a user account. For example, writing a rule on a firewall to block an IP address. For example, blocking a URL on the web gateway. Blocking an email address on the email gateway. These kind of things SOAR can do. So orchestration is coordination. Automation is what it actually ultimately does. Plus, it can also respond to cyber attacks. Orchestration, automation, and response. Now, where does SOAR fit in? I mean, so we in the whole SOC process, where does SOAR fit in? So the typical SOC workflow will be something like this. We have thousands of log sources, and these thousands of log sources include your Active Directory, DNS server, DHCP server, routers, switches, firewalls, email gateways, web gateways, right? So combine all together, put together in a mid-sized company, there might be around 1,000 log sources. These will generate millions of logs each day. These logs are fed into SIM. They are passed there and stored in the SIM, and they are run through various correlation rules. Administrator might have written several correlation rules, and the incoming logs will be run through these correlation rules to see if anything matches. And if there is a match, an alert will be triggered. Let's say on a daily basis, around 100 alerts will get triggered. Once these alerts are triggered, this is where human part gets involved. So a security analyst will pick up these alerts and will start analyzing the alert. And in case if this alert turns out to be a real incident, then it will be escalated to the incident response team, where the incident handlers will work on remediating a specific threat. Do you guys agree with this flow? Is your understanding so far the same as highlighted? Now, where does SOAR fit in this whole context? So SOC workflow with SOAR. Lot of things will still remain the same till the point where it triggers let's say hundreds of alerts. So there are log sources, millions of logs are processed in SIM. They are run through correlation rules, alerts are generated. But now, instead of a security analyst or an incident handler, a SOAR will handle the alerts. The SOAR technology will handle the alerts. If you notice, I did not remove the security analyst and incident response or incident handlers from the slide. The reason is that we still need human intervention every now and then in order to work on the alerts and handle the incidents. But a lot of it is assisted by SOAR technology today. I'll answer that question, Ravindra. I have a slide for that. Now, looking at all these things, there will definitely be one question in your mind that will SOAR replace security analyst jobs? The simple answer is yes, it is going to replace security analysts. It's not going to completely replace, but it is going to reduce the number of people required to run the SOC. Consider that without the SOAR, if you need 10 people, after deploying SOAR, you will end up requiring only 4 people. So to that extent, it will definitely reduce the number of security analysts. The good news is that it's a new technology. I would not say it's in an infant stage. I would not say today that it is in infant stage because at one point around, let's say less than 10-15% of the SOC teams were adapted to SOAR, but now I would say probably somewhere around 30% of the SOC teams have adapted to SOAR technology. It's growing. It's a very hot tool in the area of SOC. All the teams, all the companies are talking about SOAR. Either they are implementing it or they have already implemented it. Okay, but it's still growing. Let's say to be completely automated, the SOC teams to be completely automated, it will take at least another 4 to 5 years. So widespread adoption will take 2 to 5 years more, and then you are also learning SOAR. Now, because as a part of this training, you are at least getting introduced to the technology. You know what is SOAR. And there are a lot of free resources I will guide you to. Depending on your interest, you can actually master this technology. It is going to replace L1, L2, and incident response. But as I said, it is not going to replace 100% because we still need human intervention. So it's going to reduce. I'll come to that point, Swati. To take control of SOAR automated process by security analyst. Every now and then in the, let's say when it is being automated, see again, understand the difference, guys. A lot of people get confused here. It's an automation tool. Okay, it's not an AI tool. There's a difference. Okay, so that means when I throw an brute force attack or alert at SOAR, it does not know how to handle it. It is not an AI tool that, okay, fine, you give me a brute force attack. I will tell you exactly how to handle it and I'll handle it for you. No, that's not what is SOAR. I have to tell SOAR what to do with the brute force attack first in the form of a playbook. I have to tell SOAR what to do with the brute force attack first, and then it does each and every of those tasks repeatedly over and over again with high accuracy and high speed. That is what is automation. Okay, don't confuse it with AI. That means it is not smart solution which will understand how to handle the new alerts that you throw. It cannot understand how to handle new alerts. Somebody has to guide the SOAR technology. The SOAR engineer will configure how to handle new alerts. But once configured, once it knows how to handle a brute force attack, or once it knows how to handle threat intelligence related alert, or once it knows how to handle a malware alert, it will keep on doing it over and over again with high speed. Let me give you an example of a speed here. A typical security analyst will take anywhere between 30 minutes to 1 hour to investigate a phishing alert, to consider each and every single aspect of the phishing. It will take anywhere between 30 minutes to 1 hour. A SOAR can do the same analysis in like 5 to 7 minutes. This is the speed we're talking about. Okay. Now, you can think about automation like building a pipeline. Let's say there is a source of some water. Let's say a river is flowing, and then there's 1 kilometer away there is a city, if not city, at least a residential area where people typically walk up to the river to bring water. Okay, they carry cans and pots to get the water from the river. Now, building pipeline, it's a very stressful activity, time consuming activity. Which is more easier, building a pipeline or getting a pot of water is easy? Getting a pot of water is much more easier, right? So automation is also very similar to that. Automation is very difficult to build, but once it is built and working fine, it can save you thousands of hours. Okay. So coming back to where we are, that you are learning SOAR. It's an important technology today. It's a really good tool to learn. Now let me give out a little secret of mine. Okay, so I had a really successful career. I had a really successful career. Let's say between 2010 and 2017. And 2017, in fact, like I came to a point where I said, okay, fine, let me retire. Let me stop the job. And I might have already told you this, that I, at one point, at the peak of my career in 2000, between 2014 and 17, let's say I was making somewhere close to around 8 to 14 lakhs per month. Now that was because of SIM technology. Okay, so I am not a cybersecurity expert, but I got onto the right technology at the right time. SIM was by accident. I did not choose SIM. In fact, SIM chose me. My manager forced me to take SIM as a support tool in McAfee, and then ultimately I ended up learning it. But then I got the hang of it. I realized that as long as you are in a tool that is upcoming and in demand, you will be able to earn higher salaries. Now, 2017, I announced and then started SOC Experts. And then in 2020, we had to stop all the classes. Before COVID, we did not know how to run online classes. It was all classroom trainings only. So we had to stop all our classes. And just like the way we are doing now, we used to conduct free classes then for almost continuously for 8 months. 8 months, we did 8 batches for free. We trained close to around 3,000 students back in 2020. Now the question is, I wanted to do something because I was almost free. I used to just spend 2 hours in taking a class. I wanted to do something, learn something new technology and get into a job. But in India, let's say even becoming a SOC manager, which was a very easy task for me, considering the number of people that SOC Experts has helped get into the industry, I would have got good references easily. But the SOC manager would typically get around 2 lakhs take home. I mean, I'm talking about the best case. If you have to get 2 lakhs, your salary has to be around 32 lakhs. Maybe I can get up to around 40 lakhs. But again, 2.5 take home maximum. But I was used to earning more salary. So I thought, okay, fine, let's not go into SOC manager. Let me learn something new. And that's when I came across SOAR, learned SOAR. Actually, I learned SOAR from one of my students. And let's say he explained me SOAR. He showed me what he's doing in his company and everything. So I picked it up. Through my contacts, I was able to find some job, let's say consulting job with SOAR with Palo Alto UK. Right, so I was helping the Palo Alto UK team in terms of deploying the SOAR technology. And then my salary was 8.5 lakhs per month. Right, so that's the difference I'm talking about. If you are in a niche technology, you will really be paid well. I learned it from SIM. I repeated it with SOAR. And now, at one point, I came to realization. I thought, okay, fine, let me learn SOAR. This will take me to another 4 to 5 years of mileage in my career. But when I started SOAR, I realized one point. That SOAR will require programming skills. Swati was asking this question. Let's say SOAR requires programming skills. In fact, after almost close to around 11 years of experience, I started learning Python as a scripting language. I started learning Python, but I realized that I'll not be able to catch up with the speed what is required to learn. I learned programming basics. I was able to handle decent amount of scripting and everything, but I realized that I cannot handle it, the speed at which it requires and my speed of learning. So I had to stop working on SOAR, and then I was looking for some other technology. So in 2022, I was looking, let's say, let me actually do a job, because I was in 2022, the big news about, let's say, the slowdown in the market, the AI takeover, everything was there, if you recall, in 2022. And then I realized, okay, fine, I might have a couple of more years left in my career. So let me play it front foot. So I always felt like these are the last 5 overs in my career, and I have to take the best advantage of it. So in 2022, I decided, okay, fine, let me look for a field that does not require programming skills, plus that is not immediately affected by AI. And that's when I came across OT. Again, I learned OT, worked with a couple of students who were working in OT, and ultimately, let's say in 2023, got a job in OT, and then in the current company, I'm working from last maybe 1.5 year, not 1.5 year, 1 year, around 14 months now. Again, being in Dubai, UAE, that's another advantage. And let's say anybody from UAE will realize that, let's say, a salary of around 45,000 AED is a big deal. Anybody in Saudi, Qatar, or UAE will realize that 45,000, 44.7 is my actual salary. So 45,000 salary per month is a big deal here. Per month, of course. Here the salaries are spoken per month in UAE market, Saudi, UAE, Qatar market. The salaries are spoken per month. I would say the students have helped me in a lot of things, Sandeep. I will not hesitate to say that. And again, what is I am when I say that I am a career mentor, I can, because I have walked the path, I can guide you. It doesn't mean that I know more than you, right? So technically, I might be knowing less than you, but because I have walked the path, I can tell you what is right and what is wrong. And not only my career, but I have seen now close to around 30,000 people, 30,000 students of SOC experts, what they have done, what they took, what good steps they took, what wrong steps they took. There are people who have achieved bigger success than me, and obviously I have to be humble and learn from them, right? So, and the technology is changing, and let's say if you stay adamant and rigid, let's say industry will kick you out immediately. Yeah, that's my current salary, 45K AAD per month. Right. So again, that's a. In fact, it's a very. Again, this I always give credits to SOC expert students. Somewhere, some people pray for the trainers who have got good careers and good life, and we have changed. I mean, like say, I can recall a lot of names where people were in a lot of debt, and within a year, they not only came out of debt, but also they started, let's say, investing in buying, purchasing home. They took car. They came out of debt completely. So a lot of good stories that we hear. I have in the past when there were good times in careers or in the market was good. People have jumped from 3 lakhs to 13 lakhs, 14 lakhs, from 15 lakhs to 40 lakhs. All these are actual numbers: 15 to 40 lakhs. My close friend, he was earning around 12 lakhs. From 12 lakhs, he jumped to 36 lakhs. Right. So he was a .NET developer. He underwent the training, and then immediately he jumped to 36 lakhs. So like this, I think all those prayers are helping me now in order to get this level of job and this level of comfort. My job is work from home. I almost stay at home, and I enjoy my family life as well. And getting this good salary, no expense, unnecessary expenses in day-to-day commute, no outside food, nothing. So health is there, wealth is getting built, and also getting to work on the latest technology and no tax. I mean, that's a big advantage. I mean, like say, I think I've already told you this. When I decided to work, I decided I will be working only in two countries, either in Qatar or UAE. These are the only two countries where I will work. Not in India, not anywhere else. Not in US or not in Europe, but in Qatar or UAE because of tax free. Again, as I told you, let's say so. OT is slightly different from SOC. What I'm doing right now is different. It is a field of cybersecurity, but it's different from SOC. So you cannot think about SIM, EDR, SOAR, and what next. That is not my path anymore. Right. So OT is a different thing. OT is at least 7 to 10 years behind IT security. We are still talking about antivirus. We are still talking about IPS. We are still talking about let's say firewalls in OT side. So it's still far behind. So it will take at least some few more years, maybe 3 to 5 years to catch up with IT technologies. So that's why I chose this field, because in the next 5 to 7 years, or at least 3 to 5 years, I'm pretty confident that AI will not impact OT. Yes, LB, I do plan to take on OT. Now, OT does not require programming skills. See, if you have programming skills, it's definitely going to be an advantage. But you really don't need any programming skills with OT. Freshers can also do OT. Manoj, there will be a huge demand for OT going forward. We are already seeing this demand in Middle East, in countries like Qatar, Saudi, right? So in a lot of European countries, there's a lot of demand for OT. The reason is regulations. When the companies, or sorry, when the countries are now fighting, they are not only fighting the wars using guns and the tankers and flights, jets. They are also doing cyber war now. That means if I have to take down a country, I don't have to launch a war. I can only take them down by launching a cyber attack. For example, cyber attack on the power grid, cyber attack on power grids. Recently, there was a hypothetical study conducted. a hypothetical study conducted on one of the Australia's power grid. Okay, and if they are out for 1 day, if they are out for 1 day, it will lead to a loss of 1.2 billion. $1.2 billion. So 1.2 is like say around 10,000 crore rupees in 1 day. Now imagine like say a country losing out that much of money, right? So obviously the economy is going to cripple. Imagine like say like this, if there are some 10 attacks in 1 year, the country is gone. So what a lot of countries will do is that they will impose a lot of regulations on these critical infrastructure, manufacturing industries and pharmaceutical industry, hospitals and power grids, water treatment plant. So all these places they will, for example, let's say water treatment plant, Florida water treatment attack. Read about it. Florida's water treatment plant attack. So attacker actually gained control of the OT environment and he increased a level of chemical to a significantly dangerous level. Now there was a secondary check and it was identified. Now imagine if it was not, if the attacker was actually was able to compromise the secondary check also, then this water would have been distributed to the entire city and the entire city would have been sick, or even it could have led to deaths as well. And imagine what will be the chaos that will happen in the hospitals. Will the city be able to handle all these patients coming in? You see, OT impacts life directly. OT impacts life directly, whereas IT technologies and IT cybersecurity will impact the financials of the company. The company will lose money, the company will lose reputation, but OT, here there is a chance of death. So a lot of countries are coming up with strong regulations, and when regulations develop, companies have to invest on the OT technologies, and this is the time right now where countries are coming up with regulations. Last year, Saudi came in, 2021, Qatar came in, India is yet to come, UAE is yet to come with a regulation for strong OT regulations. But again, within this year or by maximum by next year, they will have regulations. And when regulations come in, every factory, every hospital, every power station, every power distribution, every water treatment, every distillery, every pharmaceutical, every railway, all the metro, trains and everything, right? So everybody, all the airports, all of these have to take cybersecurity seriously, and there will be a lot of hiring also. That is correct. Stuxnet is definitely one of the OT attacks. Ravindra, to be honest, it is not a practical option. You can learn OT, you can definitely look for jobs, and you will definitely get good jobs, and hopefully in Middle East or any other outside India as well. But will I be able to refer? Probably not. There are some good Udemy courses, basic courses in Udemy. You can start picking from there, or else next year I'll be starting OT security classes. January of 2025, I will definitely start OT cybersecurity classes. All right. Continuing where I left. So the reason why I wanted to say this is basically I'm a tool-based guy, right? So I'm not a cybersecurity expert, but I identify which technology is niche. I learn that, and within that scope, I grow, right? So, and I'll be talking about this a little bit more tomorrow as to how you have to shape your career and everything. And I always think about how to earn more money through job rather than how do I excel, how do I learn, how do I get promoted. No, My focus is strongly on earning money. If I'm working, I need to get higher salaries. (2025) pass out batch. I I don't know, Yash. I mean, it's a difficult question to answer. There will be a good demand for OT cybersecurity in the near future. It's already started, even including India. You see a hell lot of openings from Adani groups, from Dr. Reddy's lab. Let's say, especially in Pune, Mumbai, Ahmedabad, wherever these industrial areas are. Right, so there are a lot of job openings in OT cybersecurity already in India. So for freshers also, there will definitely be opportunities in OT. But I would definitely recommend you to go with SOC first. It's a lot more easier, and there are a lot more opportunities as of today compared to OT. Now, Ravindra was asking about the question. Will SOAR replace the SIM? Technically, SOAR acts as a complementary solution to SIM, not a competitive solution. Okay, so SIM does the heavy lifting of processing millions of logs and generating few hundred alerts. Right, so SIM does processing and generating alerts. SOAR starts with these alerts. So if you think about it, the input to SIM is raw logs. The output is alerts. Input to SIM is raw logs. The output is alerts. For SOAR, the input is alerts. The output is automation. So in that way, SIM does not compete with SOAR and it does not replace SOAR. But as of today, a lot of SIM solutions are being combined with SOAR technology. A lot of SIM solutions today come with their own SOAR technology as well. That means there is a very small difference between SIM and SOAR now. They are together. Right. So again, what does it take to be good in SOAR? Good understanding of SOC processes. This can be learned easily. Basic working knowledge on different tools and technologies. This also can be learned easily. And basics of scripting is essential. And if you're asking, can I be a SOAR engineer without scripting? You can survive, but you cannot excel. You will be able to work as an analyst who works on SOAR, but you will not be able to become a SOAR engineer without scripting knowledge. And SOAR engineer is who gets paid better. So who are the vendors in the market today? There is IBM Resilient. Resilient was a separate company. IBM acquired them. There is Splunk Phantom. Phantom was a separate company. Splunk acquired them. Now they are called as Splunk SOAR. Simplify is a dedicated company that focuses only on developing SOAR, which is acquired by Google. You see, when there is a lot of acquisition, right, it means that the technology is in demand. When a lot of big companies are acquiring these technologies, that means that the technology is in huge demand. So then there is Rapid7 Insight Connect. Swimlane is another company that is very similar to Simplify, focusing on SOAR technology only. Threat Connect has a SOAR. Then there is also Cortex XOR. Cortex XOR is also an acquired product. So the history of Cortex XOR, which is what we'll be learning, a little bit of demonstration I'll be doing. There was a company called Demisto. Demisto was developing the SOAR technology. Palo Alto acquired Demisto in 2018. And they also acquired another company called as Cortex for their XDR solution. For some reason, they put the SOAR under Cortex branch and rebranded it as XOR. So Cortex XOR, Demisto SOAR, Palo Alto SOAR, all of them means the same thing. It's one technology developed by a company called Demisto, acquired by Palo Alto, and rebranded as Cortex XOR. Again, we'll not divert into OT right now. We are talking about SOAR. Maybe tomorrow we can talk. I'll take these questions regarding OT. Now, before I go into the features, I want to show you something. There is a good resource available in Palo Alto Beacon. Palo Alto Beacon is their um, university. It's a free and open university. Anybody can subscribe and learn from it. Beacon is a Palo Alto University. So once you log in as a customer. Oh, why am I registering? Once you register, verify your email address, you'll be able to log in and access the course. Okay, there might be the website seems to be very slow. Once you log in, you'll be able to see these courses: Introduction to Cortex XOR, Cortex XOR Analyst Training, and then there is Story Engineer Training. So I would recommend you to complete these two at least: Introduction to Cortex XOR and Cortex XOR Analyst Training. So both these things, if you cover, you can definitely start adding them in your CV. Plus, they also give you certificates. So you can also add certificates in your CV. Customer, yes, please log in as a customer. It is not a paid course, it's a free course. It's free to register. It's a mix of text and video content. Everything is free. Plus, you also get, if you pass the exam, you'll get the certificate as well. Python is preferred because I will definitely share the PPT with you guys. Don't worry. Not proctored exam. You can, I think there are 10 attempts to pass it. So yeah, everybody will definitely pass it. Basic Python is, or I would say intermediate level should be good. Basic is also not enough, and you don't have to be an extraordinary developer. Intermediary skills to an extent of knowing how to handle dictionaries and a little bit of expertise in handling JSON format, because automation uses a lot of JSON format. Yes, why not? If you are good in scripting, I would recommend you to go with SOAR. Was anybody able to register and access the platform, Beacon? Excellent. Sandeep says he did. Manoj says no. Okay, I'll just do a small demo of the product here. So this is the product, Cortex XOR. So let me just zoom a bit. The first important thing that you need to learn, I mean, there are dashboards and reports, incidents. I'll talk about this. We'll come to this page. And there is playbooks. This is the engine. This is the heart of Cortex XOR playbooks. There are several playbooks already written. So if you see here, there are simple playbooks and also a lot of very advanced playbook out of the box written by the Palo Alto guys itself already. Of course, you can write your own custom playbooks as well. So for example, here, see, it is just not a simple flow chart. It actually performs all these activities. Whatever has been written on these boxes in the backend, everything is an automation. Okay. Priyanka ji, I think you should be focusing on learning rather than certificate. Certificate is useless. I will not answer any question around certificates, guys. Please take it easy. Don't worry about certificate. Even if you add a certificate, nothing is going to change. Okay, so focus on learning. Knowledge is more important than certificate. So I will just walk you through two steps. Two important things. The first one is integration. I told you that the SOAR can coordinate with various IT technologies. Now, before it can coordinate, you have to introduce these technologies to SOAR. Before it can start coordinating with the technologies, you have to introduce your technologies to SOAR. That is what is integration. So there are a lot of integration modules available, right? So you name a vendor, and probably the list or that particular vendor will be available here. Okay, so if you want to go for dev. If you want to understand what are the uh, supported technologies that we can integrate with, here is all the list of supported technologies. I think around 600 plus technologies Palo Alto supports. right? So like this, you can integrate every technology. Let's say your company might be having Splunk as a SIM solution, ServiceNow as a ticketing tool. It might be having, of course, Active Directory, right? So all these technologies will be there, and you have to introduce all these technologies to SOAR. Now, how do I introduce a technology to SOAR? The integration module is already there, so that's a good thing. You don't have to do the heavy lifting. Okay, you don't have to do the heavy lifting. So the integration module, that means how they talk to each other, the program is already written by the Palo Alto guys. All you have to do is tell SOAR where your Active Directory is in the form of giving the IP address. For example, if I have to do the Active Directory integration, all it asks for is, here you see add instance. It will ask for the IP address. It will ask for the port number, and it will ask for credentials to log in. Right, so rest everything is already out of field. So let me just switch on my Active Directory here. I've already added the one instance here, SOC Experts Active Directory. I have given the IP address, the port number, the credentials to log in, okay, and everything. And in a while, it should be able to, I can actually be able to test it. It's still starting. My Active Directory was turned down all this time. It can be done with any IP address as long as it's reachable. As long as it is reachable, it can be done with any IP address. You just need to have a connection. Come on, it says it's already running. Oh, invalid credentials. How come? Okay. So it is successful. My Active Directory was down, so it was just booting up. So it's now up and it is successful. So that means my SOAR can talk to Active Directory. So what can I do with it? You see here the commands, show command. Now I can execute any of these commands from SOAR and get these activities done. I can create a user, I can delete a group, I can delete a user, I can disable account, I can enable account. So typically we use it to get user details. And where do I get execute these commands? Here, if you see at the bottom of the screen, there's a text box. All the commands will start with an exclamation mark. You see automatically it's proposing all the commands that I can use. I'll go with ad-get-user. And the arguments that it will support, I'll just go with the username argument. I think there should be a user called Raju. Let's see. And if I execute it, you see without accessing Active Directory, without doing anything, I have the information of Raju now. Right, so his full name is Raju Kumar. This is his email address. This is his manager. And if I want to get the other attributes, I can add attributes as well. Attributes like a title, what is his title, department, right? So now you know that, like say he's into marketing department, his title is marketing manager. You see, I did not connect to Active Directory. Simple query, within a second, I'm able to get the response. Similar integration, I think we also have with VirusTotal. Let's check VirusTotal. Okay. So, and let's check the reputation of IP addresses. What is the command that I need to be using? If I don't remember the command, all I have to do is just go to this integration and look at the show commands. And if I look at the commands, I will know that I need to use IP command to check the reputation of an IP address. So I go here, IP space. You see, it takes a mandatory argument, IP address. Obviously, if you want to check the reputation of the IP address, you have to pass the IP address. So I'll just go with a clean IP address first. Okay, so I'm just checking the reputation of 8.8.8.8, which is a Google DNS server. And if you see within a second, it will be able to tell me the reputation of this IP, which is 0 positive. That means it's a clean IP address. 0 out of 93 scanners identify it to be a malicious IP address. So it is basically a clean IP address. Let me check with the bad reputation IP address. Let's take a bad reputation IP address. Let's see this. You see 7 reputation is negative. So 7 out of 93 scanners identified to be malicious. Right. So if I go to VirusTotal and check it directly, you see 7 out of 93. And we are getting it here right here within a matter of seconds. So I execute the command at 6:39. I get a response at 6:39. That is correct, Meghna. Through APIs, it connects in the backend and does the job. Now, is it what it is meant to? Basically, a security analyst will run commands here? No. Right. So this is just to demonstrate what is the capability of a SOAR technology. But the actual strength of SOAR is in playbooks. Right. So I think I have written one playbook. So I'll just take a simple playbook here, which is let's say this is an outbound communication on unusual port. Let me open this. Maybe I have a new CD for that. Okay, so there is an outbound communication on unusual port is the alert that I want to handle. Basically, communicate outbound direction connect communication on any of these ports apart from 84, 43, 25, 53, 123. This is the logic of the correlation rules. If anybody from our company is communicating to the public IP address on ports apart from 84, 43, 25, 53, for example, 10.10.4.5, which is our internal IP address, is communicating to 120, 30, 40 on port 5555. 5555 is the unusual port and it's an outbound communication. So this alert will trigger. So I need to check the reputation of the destination IP address. And if that reputation is bad, I'll create a ticket. I'll create a ServiceNow ticket to block the IP address on the firewall. Right. So this is the typical workflow. Okay, I have already written the automation here. This is the same thing, whatever I showed you right now. This is the blueprint, I can say. And the same blueprint is replicated here in the form of automation. Now, is it just a box here? No, in the backend, there is automation. For example, check the reputation of IP address. So when I click on it, you'll realize that there is an automation. The automation is basically to check the reputation of IP address using VirusTotal. And is the reputation bad? I will consider it bad when if it has more than 3. You see, greater than or equal to 3. That means here there should be 3 out of X. If at least 3 vendors identify it as malicious, then I want it to be considered as bad IP address. If it is bad, what to do? Create a ServiceNow ticket. Connect with ServiceNow and execute this command. So ServiceNow create ticket. And pass these instructions like block the IP address on the firewall and assign it to this particular group. This group is basically the system ID for network. check the status of the service now ticket, and if the service now ticket is closed, close the incident in XOR. So this is the workflow. Before I put it into testing, I have to the ServiceNow integrations will be inactive because ServiceNow will be service. Come on, where is the ServiceNow? Okay, I'll add a new instance. Luckily, ServiceNow gives you a developer instance for free, and API access will also work for that. What I'm doing is basically I'm creating a new ServiceNow account. So I am creating a new ServiceNow instance, which is a ticketing tool to integrate with my SOAR. It's a cloud-based solution, so it can be done in few seconds. So we are processing your request. This will take few seconds. They will just give it some seconds and then it will be ready. I need some credentials, the URL and the login credentials to access ServiceNow. Because for the playbook to work, I need ServiceNow integration. Because it has to go to ServiceNow and create the ticket automatically there. SIM rules are to trigger suspicious activities. And here playbooks, even before there was SOAR, we had playbooks. In fact, Sandeep was asking this question. The difference between playbooks and SOAR playbooks, are they same? They're almost the same. Okay, it's the exact same steps that you follow in the playbook that you've written. Maybe as a part of a PDF file, you might have written a playbook. But here, that playbook will get executed automatically. In SOAR, the playbook runs on its own. Whereas the playbook that Surya might have discussed with you in the past during the analysis class, there is a manual playbook. So you read the instructions and you, as a security analyst, perform the action yourself manually. But in SOAR, the playbooks gets executed automatically. And why do we have playbooks? For analysis and incident response. Okay, so it's ready now. Okay, it works. Save and exit. Let me go back to playbook. No, let's say typically I would show how to create a new playbook also, but again, due to lack of time, I'm just going with this. It's basically we can create it. For example, it's so you don't need programming skills. You need a new task. You just drag and drop. New task will come. You choose the automation. For example, IP. I want to check the repetition of the IP address. I know that I need to run the command IP. So I need to pass the IP address. I can pass the placeholder like the destination IP address. This is how we write it. You don't need programming skills to write the playbook itself, but there are a lot of customization that you need to do every now and then. That's where you need programming skills. Save playbook. Okay. Now that the ServiceNow has been integrated and this flow should work fine. Let's put it into testing. I'll create some incidents manually. I'll create two cases. First case, I'll create it as test one good IP address. I'll share a good IP address and it should not create any ticket. I'll assign the playbook and I need to pass an IP address for testing. Destination IP address. We know that 8.8.8.8 is a clean IP address. Okay. I will begin investigating and let's see how much time it will take to close this as a false positive, because it's a false positive. The IP address that we are reaching out to is 8.8.8.8. So it's not a bad reputation IP address. It's a clean IP address. So it has to close the incident automatically. Let's see how much time it will take. So I started the investigator and you see, even before I could look into the details, it's already closed. What exactly happened in the backend? If I go to the work plan within the incident, I'll see that it checked the reputation of the destination IP address, which is 8.8.8.8. What did it find? It found that 0 out of 93 are positive. Then is the reputation bad? It is looking for is 0 greater than 3. If you look for here, it's checking 0 greater than or equal to 3. Obviously, no, 0 is not greater than or equal to 3. So the else condition got executed and we close the incident. Now let's go back and create another test case with bad reputation. Bad IP address. Again, we don't have to do this manually. Actually, it's all automated, but I'm just showing you manual here because I don't have integration with SIM. It will trigger automatically. You don't even have to click on investigate. Right now I'm clicking on investigate. You don't even have to do that. Let me take this IP address because it is more than 3. 7 is obviously more than 3. So if this will definitely trigger that. You see, now I go to incidents. Actually, I'm clicking on investigate, right? I don't have to click on investigate. In the real world, I can make this playbook run automatically for this incident. So let's see here. I'll be able to see the things in action because it has to create the ticket, right? If I go to work plan, you see here, this is getting executed right now. The gear icon shows that it is creating a ticket in service now. And it's done. What happened here? Let's look into the thing. So it checked the reputation of the IP address. OK, and it got to know that it has 7. And then is 7 greater than or equal to 3? Obviously, 7 is greater than 3. So the S condition got executed. It created the service now ticket. It created this new ticket with a message, block the IP address on the firewall. Which IP address? The IP address in question. And now, is it really created the ticket? Let's go back and check in service now. SOC team will create the blueprint, guys. SOC team will create the blueprint first, and then a SOAR engineer will develop the playbook in and automate it. I need to go for all incidents. I'm not able to find that. All incidents, yes. You see here, this incident has been created with the message, block the IP address on the firewall, 165.227, the same IP address that was in question, and it is assigned to network team. All these things, where is this message mentioned? Block the IP address on the firewall. It is actually mentioned in the playbook itself. If I go to playbook and look at this step, create the service or ticket. Here it is. Block the IP address on the firewall. What IP address? I will pass the IP address in question. There is a placeholder here, but ultimately it will be replaced by the actual IP address in question. It has been assigned to network team. What's the network team here? Because it's a system ID. If you look into the network team, in the backend, the automation happens with IDs, not with the names, not user readable names. It happens with using IDs. So here, if I'll just paste it here, you see 154E. That's the system ID for network team. That's the same thing given here, 154E. So while writing the playbook, I have configured all these things in the backend. That's why it was able to create the ticket, and it was also able to assign it to network team with the right message. And how much time it took? Hardly 10 seconds. The same thing to do for a security analyst manually, it will take at least 10 minutes. Check the reputation, go to the ticketing tool, create a new ticketing tool, document it, provide evidence. It will take at least 10 minutes versus 10 seconds. Now that is how the value of the SOAR is also calculated. Let's say this an alert like this will trigger 10 times in a day. OK, 10 times in a day. That means a security analyst will spend close to about 100 minutes, almost a little bit over one and a half hour, 100 minutes in analyzing this. But if there is SOAR, this will be 100 seconds. Right, so instead of 1.5 hours, the task can be achieved in one minute. So if a security analyst works for 40 hours, now I can easily reduce 1.5 hours like this. So over a period of time, it will be able to save thousands of hours and in fact, obviously thousands of dollars as well. That's why we say instead of 10 security analysts to run the show now, we will only need 4 or 5 people. That's it from my side, guys. Today, I want you to explore the beacon. There is a lot of good videos, a lot of good contents. Please go through it. You will learn a lot about SOAR, especially people who are good in scripting. I would recommend you to pursue SOAR. So this completes our technical discussions of the batch. We'll meet tomorrow to have some open discussions. OK, on how to continue your education, cybersecurity education, how to look for a job, and how to plan your career. No, I mean, you cannot, unfortunately, you cannot practice SOAR. You can join our SOAR class. We might announce one in August. It will be a complete hands-on training, but earlier they used to give the trial version for SOAR. Now they have stopped giving SOAR trial version. Yeah, so tomorrow will be the last class for this batch. OK, all your career related questions, job related, salary related, everything we will answer tomorrow. And let's see where life will take us from here. We'll announce that Ajay and Ravindra. It will be in our website. So we'll announce that in our website. The next batch, as I told you, will be, I think, somewhere by August 5th or latest by August 12th. That is next Monday or the other next Monday. we'll be starting cloud security classes. We'll announce it in the group in the 100th batch. I'll announce it, and it is again going to be free. So feel free to join, learn cloud security, add it to your CV, and that will help you in, let's say, hunting for jobs. All right, guys. So I hope, let's say, all the knowledge that has been shared over a period of last 2 months was helpful. Sorry, not 2 months. I think it's around 5 weeks or 6 weeks now. 5 weeks. It's the fifth week, I think. So all this knowledge is helpful with you guys, and the learnings will somehow help you get the job. That is the ultimate intention, guys. I am not here to pass the knowledge. Knowledge is there in internet for free. I want you guys to get jobs. So just drop a message in the WhatsApp group when you get placed, when you get a job in cybersecurity. Drop a message that will make us happy, and that will also increase the confidence of other students. That, like, say, okay, fine, people are getting placed, and even I should work harder and get the job. I'll definitely share the PPT, Akash. Don't worry. And again, it's a request from my end to, if you have not given a review on Google, please review us. I would not influence you to write anything special, but whatever you feel, the honest review. So you can write that. If it's positive, it will motivate us. If it is negative, it will help us in improving us. So please, if you are not, a lot of people have already given the review on Google, uh, or quite a few people have given it. So if you have not already done it, please do review us on Google. That will help us grow. So all the sport classes will be announced in the website, guys. We might also put it in the batch in the WhatsApp group. Don't worry. And the templates, yes, I will probably share those templates with you guys. The CV templates. Yes, cloud security is will definitely help. Mock interview. No, I would still not recommend you to raise tickets, because the most effective people who can conduct interviews are currently busy, right? So we used to do it too with the cyber genies earlier, but there it is not very strong. We cannot control the quality. But I know a group of, let's say, I have let's say a group of 7 people who take mock interviews on a regular basis. So they are busy for some time. So please allow us this month. Let's say let August pass, and after that I'll take a decision whether we will have an opportunity to take mock interviews or not. I am a big fan of mock interviews. They will help you in reflecting what you have learned and where you have to improve. So mock interviews definitely help. Okay, let's say let me check with it, and if I feel confident about giving value, because it costs money, right? So in terms of taking a mock interview, it's 100 rupees, let's say around $1.1 per mock interview. Not huge, but still it's the money, and we want to definitely give value to that money. So unless I feel confident about giving value, it's of no use in selling a service that is of no quality. So allow us some more time, and I'll tell you whether you can raise the mock interview request or not. Yes, by mid of August or maximum by end of August, we will update you. Again, Sandeep, it's little challenging to handle both technical queries and career-related queries tomorrow. So we'll stick to career-related queries. Technical queries, I'm pretty sure a lot of your friends in the batch will be able to answer them. And I still strongly recommend. In fact, this is one of the advice I'll be giving tomorrow, sorry, that please create small groups. Find people who have the same level of passion that you have, and create a group of 3 or 4 people and meet every day. You have a habit of meeting at this time, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. IST. So continue this practice for the next 2 months. You will see a significant change in yourself, and day by day, you might not be feeling motivated to learn, but your friends will push you ahead. So working in group is always good. Sure, Sai Krishna, I will try to cover that. If you do not have access to Magic Portal, guys, no certificate. Sorry for that. Again, don't worry too much about the certificate. You can put let's say SOC experts training. Okay, underwent SOC experts training for 2 months for security analyst training. You can put that in your CV, no problem. Nobody is going to ask you for certificate. Thank you very much, guys. You guys have a wonderful day. Let's meet tomorrow to conclude this batch. Take care. Bye bye.